Okay, let's solve that problem now then, right? Because it's very nice for you to see that and go, oh yeah, I can relate to that, and then just keep doing it and complaining. But that's what I used to do. What I do now instead is I identify what actually was the pattern that made me keep doing that, right? I'll be constantly at my desk. I'll be just hyper focusing on one thing, one detail. I look at the time and it's like 6 hours is gone. This is real life story, right? This is stuff that's happened to me regularly throughout my life. What I find that really helps me is that I do a 1 hour window of something that I know is intentional for me to do for that day. For example, like maybe content creation or whatever it might be, a YouTube video or whatever, right? I block 1 hour. I set the timer for 55 minutes. I've got sounds that I'll be listening to from Endel. I really love that app. And I'm listening to the sounds and I'm doing my 55 minutes of just hyper focusing on a specific thing. And I have an alarm that goes off in 55 minutes. A lot of the time I do not want to stop. I want to continue going, right? I don't continue going. I get up, I move away from the place that I was in. The alarm is to get me to move, right? I move and I will walk. This is what I'll do. I'll walk like this, take myself out of the room that I was doing that session, and I will do a reflection. And that reflection is done, and I call it the FBI journal, right? I have Notion. So what I do is I go in Notion and actually use that. Most people can do a project on ChatGPT or Claude, and they can have it called the FBI journal. And basically you just have, what is the friction that came up in that session? What was the blessing in disguise from that friction? And what is the implementation or the intention, right? If it was good, right, something really good happened, like it's a really great thing that happened, you could do F for feedback. So what is the positive feedback that you have about what happened? What is the blessing that you receive now that you know, that aha moment, the wake-up call? And then what now is the intention moving forward, or implementation or improvement? Basically, you just want to keep doing what works, and what doesn't work, you just try to identify the pattern and stop it. That's one of the biggest things that helped me in my ADHD, specifically with things like task paralysis, or the thing that you just saw at the beginning of the video. I hope that helps. Try it out. You don't have to have a fancy app to be able to do the FBI. You could do it on paper if you want, but try it. It should help you. Anyway.